my take on it. First thing is always about mindset. How do you perceive this volatility that you are experiencing in your company? Now, here is the thing, like I'll give you a metaphor of two things. There is one company who's very stable. There are no more changes. They decide their direction and go for it. And same thing keeps happening again and again for next 20 years. So this is one company. And there is another company like Jagan's company. Well, things are turmoil. They keep changing priorities and then they try it and then they throw away and then a lot of things happen. So it's a very volatile company. So if you metaphorically, if you think that company A is like keeping money in your CD, in a bank account, in a savings account, it's steady, nothing is changing. A little bit of 2-3% is increasing every year, and you get taxed on it. Oh, but I know, it's peaceful. I don't have to wake up in the morning to see that, oh, it has gone down. And company B is a stock market. It's volatile. One day it changes, goes up, another it goes down. One day you have this euphoric, oh my God, we have this new project. There is a budget of 100 million and you are doing all the cool stuff. And second day they say, no, we are scrapping all this. It's not working. So boom, your stock goes down. And that's the up and down that is happening every single day, or even, in a month. In case of this, probably it will happen over every month. Strategy will change, priorities will change, projects will be gone. So this is the stock market and this is versus CD. So if you look in that light, just think about it, what you would do as an investor in stock market. And there is a choice. People invest in CD and people invest in stocks, right? There are some people who are very comfortable in CD. But if you are in this company where there is a lot of changes, you have chosen to be in that stock market rather than investing in this. Why have you chosen to be here? Because this gives a lot more returns. This CD market is only really 2-3%. The stock market, if you see last 5-6 years, this year, leave it this year, but earlier 30% NASDAQ, 40%, like 4 years in consecutive. So that kind of amazing returns that you have. And if you see in a long term, it's always a great story. So, it may not be the great story with all the companies, but probably if you're going with this all high performing companies, they tend to be great story over the long run. So you have to embrace this volatility, the rewards, the upward potential that you are getting because there is a volatility, because there is a changes. You are getting those bigger opportunities. New things are opening up because other things are going away. See, why US is so fast paced and growing than any other countries. European people have all these advantages, so many things, but they are so stuck. One thing, there's a hire and fire thing. The huge flexibility, it's at will. Every person's employment, you say it's a full-time employment. Actually, full-time employment is more scarier. If you are a consultant, they will give you 2 weeks notice. They have to, right? If you're employee, security will come. He will tell you, let's take your bag and leave from here. I'll send rest of the things later. You don't even give a opportunity to collect your things. And I've seen it in my office, right? So that's what happens. So you are not allowed to take even the stuff. So that is the volatility in US we have. And that's the biggest reason why companies can hire quickly and fire quickly. And they can hire quickly because they can fire quickly. And that's the whole thing in these companies. They can change a direction if this doesn't work, throw away and start with something new. So that opens up the possibilities of getting more things. So telling that story, it's all about stories that we tell. We can tell story, oh, this volatility and change, it be bringing stress and bringing down moral and everything. Yeah, it is happening for everybody, but you can choose to tell different story to yourself. You can say that, volatility is unstable and it's like chaotic. There's a different story that you can tell yourself. And then choose the story that will empower you. Choose the story that will serve your purpose. Now, you might come up with some different story, but one of the story that comes to your mind is that, I have lots of opportunities here because there is up and down and there is movement, and that's why I can spot this opportunity. And it's good that I can spot the opportunity. Other people can't spot it. then I'm a stock market trader. I can see that, oh, this is going to go up. So I'm going to buy this thing so that I can get high reward. I know this is going to go down. So I'm going to sell it so that, I stop the loss, or I can sell short. So I have that wisdom to see how to benefit from this volatility market and rejoice it. This is the reason that I'm getting fast result. This is the result I'm getting bigger opportunities. And that personally will help to boost your morale, get excited about it. Very thing that is causing you stress could be a source of inspiration, could be a source of excitement. Just think of a stock trader again, right? If the market is not changing, that person will be sleepless in the night. Oh my God, nothing is changing. I've bought for 20, it's still 20. I can't trade. There is no change, there's no excitement here. And you could be thinking in this way, if you go to some other company, and they still manufacturing company, nothing is happening, or it's the same thing they are doing over and over and over. There is no opportunities to grow. So rejoice that there is a volatility which is going to bring it. And then taking a long-term view, there is, when you do the stock market trading, what they say, your stock might be up today, might be down today, but over the long run, if you see the pattern, eventually you're going to win. And that has been a story for you also. Now for Noel, it's good that you shared the story. If you now look back, there were ups and downs and all those things, but in long run, everything worked out. So this is one sentence that you can say yourself: everything works out for me. And then remind yourself, there were ups and downs, there is volatility, there were changes, but in each and every instance, there were, at that particular moment, there was a stress and everything, but overall, it worked out good for me so far. And there is no reason that it won't work out going forward, because I have bigger skills, better skill, I'm wiser, and I have this wisdom now compared to before. If I could do it then, now with all the new wisdom that I have, I could definitely do better. So everything works out for me. And another thing, sentence that I can say is, everything is figure outable. Whatever change that happens, there is nothing that not solvable. I can always figure out things. Oh, this, now they took out the budget, or oh, I don't have opportunity, maybe there will be layoff. I can figure this out. Every situation that in your life that came across which you felt, oh my God, world is ending, it happened with we saw the recently, right, with COVID. How many times for 6 months, every day, oh my God, world is ending, oh my God, world is ending. Did it end? Of course, a lot of bad things happened, but it didn't end. Actually, in fact, that year, the stock market went up by 30%. There was a coronavirus rally. Who would think that there was a rally because of the virus, right? So a lot of good things came out of that also. Tons of people got to work from home and flexibility and all sort of things. So the point of telling is that in midst of all this chaos, there is always something that is better is going to come out. And it has come out for you also. Maybe, uh, you know, maybe some of the failures in your life, they happen for a reason. It maybe, suppose you didn't get a job in X place, you got it Y place. Very likely that Y place job was better than X in many ways for you, given the circumstances and given the life circumstances. Even if, in my case, there was 3 times I had to go through a layoff. And every time the one that I got, I said, oh my God, good that layoff happened. Otherwise, I would have stuck there. Every time I got the new position that put me in a better position. I was thinking, like, if they would have kept me there, or my life would have sucked. So every time I got into a better position whenever there was a layoff. So notice those things. Every time things has worked out better. Then this is the mindset part. When you will say, okay, what are the strategies? Now this is about you. Now, if you want to implement this for other people, this is where the skill comes in of motivating and inspiring people to showing all these things, what your thoughts are about, and talking about it. And then if you ask me, like, okay, this is great, I can do it for myself, how do we do for other people? how do we do for other people is first for listening, listening, not invalidating their feelings. Suppose, Anbu comes to me and said, oh my God, I'm so stressed out and everything. And you just tell the same thing that I told you, like, you don't worry about it, everything will work out. Then Anbu is like, won't feel heard. And nothing that you say will go, will register in his mind. So first you have to do is listen to that person's concern, right? Okay, I can see that totally. We were doing this and all of a sudden this is gone. You must be upset. You must be fearful. Tell me more about it. Let that person talk about those things.
Mm.
And many times, just by talking, letting that person say that out loud, releases a lot of energy. And that's one of our coaching mechanism is, many times we some do deep coaching in that. What we do is say, Shashank comes, I'm not able to come out of this negativity. I'll just asking question and help him stay in that negative phase for some time. And once you experience those things with the some with caring person, that internal energy starts, new resources come out of our mind. And that's what they say, right? Our grieving process, that's what it is. When somebody dies, they say like you cry, and the people do the artificial crying also. In India, there's some places they have Rudali, they will hire people to cry. The whole concept is this, just experience those emotions. Don't resist them, don't force them, and then you will then there's those emotion will kind of release power over them. And it could be helpful for you too, if you are feeling those feelings, talk about it with the people who care. And people don't care so much, they don't have skill to listen to the emotions. So in this case, always good to take help from expert coaches and all those things who can really listen to you and help you to uncover and be in those states. So, but you can do that to a certain extent to people around you, simple ways, asking and listening to them. That could release the strategy. Then you can take some concrete actions, as Dewell did. He illustrated very well. Okay, what is in my control? The sentence that you can write down, the formula to say to yourself, I'm doing my best and I let go of the rest. I'm doing my best, whatever is in my control, and I'm going to let go the rest, which is not in my control. And that, releases all stress and worry and all those things, as long as you are doing your best. And then come up with the answer. Ask yourself a question. What are those best thing, action item that I need to take? And some of these action items, like there was illustration, right? Now he is indispensable there. Everybody looks up to him. Everybody says, oh, you cannot touch the world. If he goes, then 10 people will be looking for the world. So the world, no, he's at the bottom of the list when it comes to layoffs. So he is creating that position for himself where he's like untouchable in a good way. So see how you can become that person. And to become that person, there are several ways, right? Becoming expert in something that you critical function that you have to be there. The people can let go, but you cannot be let go because you are the linchpin of it. Other things are like, having this strong relationship with upper management, that what we are doing, right? They will protect you. They will say for Vijay that he has like 18 people. Of course, if I touch wood, it won't happen. But if he has to do it, so he will, of course, try to keep the one which he has considered as a prodigy because he has developed them. They are in a good book, and he knows these three people will do anything for me anytime. So he's not going to touch those people, right? So that's where this career sponsorship comes in picture. This is where you can have that peace of mind, knowing that, oh, my boss will take care of me, or my skip level will take care of me because of so and so reason. One, like, you could be like indispensable, or second is like they just need me. My boss needs me personally for his own reason. Forget about a company. He needs me for his personal reason. So you could create that way. That is something is in your control, and that's what we are learning in this program, right? And then other thing is like become super confident. Okay, fine. What is you other than your company? And that's where the other aspects come in, like having that resume ready, having that LinkedIn ready, having that army of recruiters ready for you, having those connections ready. your earlier connections, new connections, building more connections. To start with, this Leaders for Life group, go on LinkedIn, we have the group, and start connecting with them. And you don't have to, they call it, right? Don't start digging the well when you're thirsty. You are thirsty right now, keep the well. And that well is not only necessary, not only for, what do you call it? When you are thirsty, but it's for, irrigating your everything else, because that network is going to flourish and it will give you a lot of opportunities. Even if things are going well in your company, even if as soon as you get a promotion, you want to move on. So if you have these connections ready, if you have this resume ready, if you have these recruiters, they are vouching for you, they are searching for a job for you, you are ready. Then that volatility doesn't matter to you. Okay, that's fine. This blah, blah, blah. I can go in a market and I'll get a job like this. You have that confidence in yourself. And you would have that confidence if the people are reaching out to you, right? If the recruiters every in a week, 2-3 recruiters are always calling you, right? Doesn't matter for me. So that knowing, see, when we suffer, the suffering happens when we feel that we don't have control over a situation. You may be in a pain, but you will suffer if you feel that you are not in control. So when this volatility is there in your company, you will have the pain, but you won't suffer, because you won't suffer if you feel you are in control. I always give that example of my climbing to Mount Everest, right? So it's a painful journey, but they are not suffering because they are in control. They know how to regulate your pain, or there is a bigger thing available for them. So think how you can bring control. What are the different actions that you can bring to control over for your own situation? You cannot do for everybody. That 100 people will be in a chaotic mode and everything, unless you are a top boss. Even if you're a top boss, it's hard to do it for everybody, but you can definitely do for yourself. And you cannot do for other people because they have to take charge, they have to do all the things that we talked about, and not everybody would do it. Many people are so much paralyzed by their pain that they just can't think about it. Right? Sometimes it happens, you might have seen, people are so scared to go to doctor. Oh, my tooth is hurting, but I don't want to go to dentist, he will pull it off, it's going to hurt more, I'll be okay with this pain. And that's what people do. In this organization, there's volatility, I feel stressed out or worried, I'm so paralyzed by that fear, I'm not going to take any action. And then people lose control over it, and then they start suffering. So that's the reason that that's the antidote, is to figure out how to create that support system. And that's what it is. Like, what is in your hand, and come up with a plan. So that's my take. Does that make sense? What resonated? Any